Hello, friends. Today, I have a story that will make you question what lurks beyond the veil of reality. It all started when an old radio was found in an abandoned house. At first, it seemed ordinary, but when someone turned it on, it began transmitting voices, messages that shouldn't have existed. If you enjoy eerie tales, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's uncover this chilling mystery. The house on the edge of town. In a small, forgotten town, a group of three friends, Anna, Max, and Lisa, decided to explore an old abandoned house on the outskirts. The house had a grim reputation. People whispered about strange sounds and disappearances, but most dismissed the rumors as local superstition. The friends arrived just before sunset, armed with flashlights, a camera, and a voice recorder. As they stepped inside, the house seemed to inhale their presence. Dust swirled in the air, and the wooden floor creaked like an ancient beast awakening. The walls were covered in peeling wallpaper, the scent of mold and decay thick in the air. In the living room, an object caught Max's eye, a dust-covered antique radio sitting atop a wooden cabinet. Unlike the rest of the house, the radio appeared untouched by time. Max, fascinated by vintage items, eagerly turned the knob. Static crackled from the speakers, and then, amidst the white noise, came a whisper. "Help me, please." The friends exchanged uneasy glances. At first, they thought it was an old transmission or interference. But then, the whisper grew more distinct. "You shouldn't be here." Trapped inside. Lisa shivered as a sudden chill filled the room. The air felt thick, heavy, almost suffocating. Anna reached for the front door, but the knob wouldn't turn. "It's stuck," she muttered, tugging harder. Max tried the windows, sealed shut. Then the radio spoke again. "He knows you're here." The static hissed violently, and the room plunged into darkness. Their flashlights flickered, and for a brief moment, a shadow moved across the far end of the room. Lisa gasped. "Did you see that?" Max shone his flashlight toward the shadow, but there was nothing there. Then, from upstairs, came the unmistakable sound of footsteps, slow, deliberate, moving toward them. The figure in the hallway. The three huddled together as the footsteps grew louder. Anna whispered, "We need to get out of here." The radio crackled again, but this time it was laughter. A deep, guttural chuckle that made their skin crawl. "He is watching." Then a sharp creak. They turned to see a tall, shadowy figure standing at the bottom of the staircase. The figure was featureless, wrapped in darkness, as though it absorbed all light. Its elongated limbs twitched unnaturally. Then, slowly, it raised its hand and pointed at them. The house groaned as if it were alive, and the walls began to close in. A desperate escape. Lisa screamed, and in a blind panic, Max grabbed a chair and hurled it at the window. This time, the glass shattered. "Go now," he yelled. Anna scrambled through the broken frame first, followed by Lisa. Max hesitated for just a moment, long enough to hear the radio whisper again. "You belong to him now." Something grabbed his ankle. He looked down and saw a hand, long, clawed fingers wrapping around his leg. With a desperate kick, he broke free and lunged out the window, tumbling onto the overgrown grass outside. The house loomed in silence, the radio's whisper fading into the wind. The haunting continues. They never returned to that house, but the nightmare didn't end there. That night, Anna woke up to the sound of static in her bedroom. She turned, and there, on her desk, was an old radio, one she had never owned. It crackled to life. "He is still watching." Max found muddy footprints leading from his window to his bed. Lisa's phone played an audio recording she didn't remember making. A voice whispered, "You are part of this place now." More than just a legend. Terrified, they tried to convince themselves it was paranoia. But each night, the whispers grew louder. Shadows flickered in the corners of their rooms, and the static followed them everywhere, on the radio, the TV, even on their phones. Max decided to investigate. He searched online for any history of the houses. What he found chilled him to the core. Decades ago, a recluse named Henry Wren had lived there. The townspeople called him the Whisperer because he was often seen talking to himself, as if responding to voices no one else could hear. One night, he disappeared without a trace. When the authorities entered his house, they found his old radio still playing, whispering. The same words Max had heard, "You belong to him now." An unfinished tale. Max shut his laptop. The whispers had started again. But this time, they weren't coming from his phone or a radio. They were right behind him. He turned slowly, his breath caught in his throat. A shadow loomed in the doorway, tall and featureless. Its elongated limbs twitched as it raised a hand and pointed at him. Final words. What was that entity? Was it bound to the house, or has it followed them? Some mysteries should never be disturbed. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe. And tell me, what would you do if you heard whispers from an old radio? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, sleep well.